So yesterday we bought this car. Today I'm broke down on the side of the road.
Well, I was just rolling up my window, but now I don't know. What the f***?
So today we're going to be taking a look at modern cars and the complete lack of quality and reliability that we all see today. The amount of examples that I see across all social media platforms of people's cars shutting down, catastrophic engine failures within a year of owning it, a few weeks, even right down the road where they drove the car off the lot is at an all-time high. Now, some manufacturers are definitely worse than others when it comes to reliability, but honestly, no brand is safe when it comes to increasing problems with tech riddled throughout all of these vehicles now. We have a lot to go over today, along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's just start off with a few examples.
Well, I was just rolling up my window, but now I don't know. What the f***? So that was my Kia that started smoking last Tuesday evening, and we got it shipped to the dealership, or towed, last Wednesday. So I've been calling them and trying to get an update for you guys. I have been, and I just got a hold of the guy today, and he says all he knows is something in the info system, does that sound right, shorted out and caused all that smoke and all those problems. They have no idea why. He did say that they ordered a whole new system to put in, so they're gonna do that, and then they have to ship mine back to the company, and they do like the diagnostics and like find out what happened and why it happened. And I also found out that they did all the recall updates and any system updates, which is nice.
So a couple things there. Interesting to know that they ended up doing all of the recall and system updates that I guess she didn't know about, just more problems with the vehicle. The other thing is that I hope this is under the manufacturer warranty, because if not, this would cost a ton of money. And even with the warranties possibly being in place, you know that these manufacturers will still try to wiggle their way out of it, make you pay out of pocket even if it is their fault. But I'm just going to hope that Kia is paying for this. They have no idea how it happened. They have to go back to the manufacturer to run diagnostics. I don't know, maybe there's just too much tech in today's cars, just a wild thought. But up next we have a little two-parter of a clip that's up on screen right now. This is some sort of vlog or trend on TikTok with the camera movements and copyrighted music over it, but this is a woman who ended up getting a brand new GMC Yukon. So we could just go right into the part 2 of this series.
So yesterday we bought this car. Today I'm broke down on the side of the road. We left it there last night to get it detailed because it was dirty, and then went back and picked it up in the morning. They made a new key for it and everything. I take off. We drive about 60 miles down the road because we're going home, which is 3.5 hours, and the car blows up. Not like blows like, you know, big dramatic blow. It cut out, started screaming, and wouldn't accelerate in the middle of the freeway with my 2 children in the car.
So basically, right off the dealer lot, this thing shuts down, and it's pretty common. We'll get to that in a second. Even one of the comments here talks about it. They aren't even supposed to be selling the 6.2 liter V8s right now. They're on a stop sale. But the next comment also has some problems. Look into a 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander. I just lemoned my 2021 Ford Expedition and wanted to buy my dream Suburban. I just don't understand why these are always the dream mom cars. But honestly, we don't want to deal with all the issues Chevy and GM have. But if you know anything about the Grand Highlander, they're having issues as well, even with it being a Toyota, more reliable, right? The Tundras, Tacomas, Grand Highlanders are all having issues and recalls as well, and I guess we're just supposed to deal with it in today's world with modern vehicles. Or really anything that we purchase now. We have a comment from one of you guys. There's no quality whatsoever anymore. I bought some expensive appliances and a treadmill and some other things lately, and they're all built to fall apart. It's disgusting. Modern technology is perfectly capable of building affordable products that can last. There are no excuses for it. Greed has ruined everything. It's a lot easier to get more customers to purchase your products if they don't last nearly as long as they used to. Maybe you bought a Yukon a while ago and it lasted 20 years. It finally ends up dying and you go purchase a brand new one. Now that one lasts 10 years. Not only the ridiculously high MSRP gives these manufacturers better margins, but now people have to buy vehicles more often than they did before, basically doubling your profits in the end. And because of that thought process, we're seeing stuff like this all the time.
If you're in the market for a newer used SUV, I would not recommend the newer GM Yukons or Tahoes. This one's got 109,000 miles. It's a 2021. We bought it with 70,000 on it. One owner, clean title, clean Carfax. The transmission went out before 10,000 miles. We bought an extended warranty through the bank. We caught hell trying to get the transmission done. Now they gave us a $3,500 budget to find a motor. Y'all find me a motor I can buy for $3,500 for a 2021 Yukon Denali 6.2 liter. Absolutely ridiculous. What a joke.
So this is one that has been making the rounds recently because it has become such a huge problem that they are now forced to recall these.
General Motors is recalling nearly 600,000 vehicles due to engine issues. The recall includes some Cadillac Escalades, along with some GMC Sierra and Yukon models. It also covers some Chevrolet Suburbans, Tahoes, and Silverado models. All the vehicles are from the 2021 to 2024 model years. All feature a 6.2-liter V8 gas engine. The issues are with the connecting rod or crankshaft engine components. Owners of affected vehicles will be notified in June.
The exact models with the problems we've seen in the past two clips. GMC Tech here, the actual numbers of the official recall is 870,000 trucks with the 6.2 from 2021 to 24. Even more than what was advertised on the news. And I know we've been mainly harping on one manufacturer, but if you want to Google this yourself, there are recalls all the time from any brand you could think of.
More bad news for Nissan as the company is now recalling 443,899 vehicles in the United States due to potential engine failure. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, better known as the NHTSA, the issue stems from engine bearings that may have a manufacturing defect, a problem that can lead to engine failure due to metal debris circulating in the engine oil.
We could go back to the new Toyotas that are having problems. A lot of Hondas have been recalled as well. It honestly really doesn't matter what brand you're talking about now. Another comment from you guys, my uncle was a car salesman. He told me years ago not to ever buy a new car off the lot. It depreciates as soon as you drive off. Buying a new warranty is worse. You pay for a new car, a new warranty, and as soon as something happens, they find a way to not pay for major repairs. And in today's world with the technology in the vehicles, that is going to be incredibly expensive. But let's say you still do that and you buy a brand new vehicle. This is the type of stuff you're getting.
This might be a hot take, but new cars are junk. I mean, look at the reverse camera quality on this 2025 Ford F-250. That is junk.
Am I just an idiot and I can't figure out how to get my car in neutral? I want to go through a car wash, and that's park, drive, reverse, that's the manual mode. I cannot get it in neutral to go through a rolling car wash. What am I doing wrong?
So I know that clip is a user error, but do you really have to have some sort of refresh and update to change the shifter that already worked and was very clear on how it was supposed to work, enough that now it's confusing people on how to even put it in neutral? And I mean, the first clip goes along with any of the new cars now, just terrible quality overall. It's not a hot take, it's just a fact. Not a hot take, the 2025 Escalade does not come with power sunshade. That's a six-figure luxury flagship SUV. It's absolutely ridiculous. Also, these screens are getting way out of hand and making cars harder and more dangerous to use. It also just looks tacky and cheap. So we're gonna stay on the infotainment screens for a little while. I have a few screenshots. How did Mercedes go from this, showing the carbon fiber center console even with the tablet screen, a nice fancy clock that goes along with it, to this, where they just have a digital screen with a watch on it. Another thing that you've probably seen in the news is is the Apple CarPlay Ultra that is supposed to be the next version of using your iPhone and Apple products in the car, basically turning all of these screens into your phone, into an iPad, being able to customize it more and do what you want. Now, after this was introduced, we have another screenshot here. 10 of the 14 car brands abandoned Apple CarPlay Ultra after realizing it would hijack their systems. Modern cars collect valuable data about driving habits, locations, and usage patterns that automakers can monetize. CarPlay Ultra would surrender this goldmine to Apple's ecosystem, explaining why a Renault executive told Apple, "Don't hijack our systems." So whatever you think about Apple products and the CarPlay or whatever, this is all about making more money in the manufacturer's eyes. They don't want Apple having all of your data, your driving patterns, how fast you're going, GPS to wherever you're headed, because then they could use that to either sell the data to other companies or advertise products themselves to you. But the manufacturers don't want Apple to hijack their systems. They want to be able to monetize and do the same thing and make more money off of you. Either way, I think this is a bad thing in the end, whether you agree with the new Apple CarPlay Ultra or the manufacturers. They're just using it to squeeze even more money out of you. Car brands went from having their own unique interiors, which anyone could identify its brand as it was unique, but now they all changed to Tesla interior. All of them look almost the exact same. He's dead right, because that was one of the other arguments they were trying to say. If the Apple CarPlay Ultra was in so many different manufacturers, they would all look similar. They already look similar. What's the difference? In the end, like I said, it's all about money and trying to sell your data or use it to sell you more products in some sort of crazy advertisement. It's just unbelievable. I think software in modern cars is by far the biggest issue. Breaking an entire car because the computer inside no longer receives updates a few years later is a scary thought. Just take a look at Fisker. I think it's the Fisker Ocean was their small SUV. The whole company went underwater and it's a fully electric SUV. So good luck trying to repair it if anything goes wrong with the hardware, but I also did get recommended a video where somebody had to drive 700 or 800 miles in their Fisker just to get a software update for their vehicle. I mean, it's honestly a nightmare. And these tech problems just don't end.
If you are a victim of the Mazda ghost screen CarPlay issue where it just clicks 58 buttons, calls people, does all kinds of crazy things, then this is for you. There is an active settlement open for Mazda, and I actually got something in the mail that had more details about it, so I wanted to share on here because the only thing I found was on Reddit, and it didn't really have a lot of people who had answers of what they needed to do. But it's a known issue by Mazda. They actually met a settlement with somebody who was suing them for this because it's obviously a huge issue.
So another one of the brands that's supposedly doing a lot better right now, Mazda. Compared to the competition, the reliability is supposed to be better. The pricing of these vehicles is supposed to be very competitive as well. I still think almost everything is overpriced, but in comparison at least, it's supposed to be decent, right? But going back to their software, the infotainment, it is so bad that they actually had to settle in court from a lawsuit. But going back to what I just said about the MSRP in general, you're expected to pay an unbelievable amount of money, in my opinion, for these vehicles. We have a clip up on screen right now, a new Jeep Wrangler 2024, $1,565 a month for 84 months, with an APR of almost 18%. Just running through all this, the finance charge almost $57,000, the amount financed almost $75,000. So in the end, the total payments for, again, a 2024 Jeep Wrangler is $131,530. Oh man, $133,000 for a Jeep. Whoever signed the contract needs an intervention. This should be illegal. Someone tag the repo man. Are you out of your mind? 17.5%, that's a credit card rate. Why does a Jeep Wrangler cost $75,000 in the first place? And if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know that a lot of these Stellantis vehicles also have tons of problems, especially if we're talking about modern vehicles. So we could go over to some of the repair costs and how ridiculous that's become. We just have another clip up on screen. You take your car to BMW thinking this little piece of plastic will be $50 max. And at the end of the day, it cost almost $900 because it's a BMW. Did you bring your own lube or did they just bend you over the table when you got there? I Googled the part number out of skepticism and it really is that expensive. Bro, you should have just bought a 3D printer. Wait till you take it in for an oil change change and you're spending $3,000. So let alone the crazy price to fix modern day luxury cars, adding in the shady dealership tactics to get even more money out of you. But we could go over to the next example of somebody wanting to keep up appearances and then having to deal with the ridiculous repair costs.
I live in LA. I have a Mercedes-Benz. It's a 2021. I had to take it into the dealer because the engine light came up. I had to take my car. I took it to the one in downtown LA. They told me I got a case number because I'm asking for a Goodwill repair because they want almost $2,800 to replace the injection fluid. I don't know, injection something, injectors. They didn't give me a loaner. I have to rent a car. Also, they charged me $900 for a diagnose. There was 2 diagnoses. The first one, they didn't figure out what it was. And Mercedes-Benz, one of the reasons why I choose to have your car and work hard to make sure I always feel safe is because I've never had an issue with you guys. And right now, it's too premature to be going through this and spend this amount of money. It's ridiculous.
So I could definitely see this from both ways. 2021 Mercedes, definitely a newer vehicle, most likely shouldn't be having all of these problems, especially with the amount of money you would have paid for it. But at the same time, it does come with the territory when you're talking about luxury cars, luxury SUVs. Every time something does go wrong and needs to be repaired, it is going to be significantly more than repairing a Honda or a Mazda, Toyota, something like that. But she did also say she lives in Los Angeles and the closest one was downtown LA, so you're surrounded by people who are either ultra wealthy or faking that they're ultra wealthy. So it starts to sound like more of a keeping up with the appearances, driving around in a Mercedes instead of a feeling safe. But we could go to some of the comments. As a lifelong luxury car driver, I really think maintenance and repair costs shouldn't make you cry. If they do, then you can't afford the car. Live within your means. Please save yourself from the heartache. The original creator responded, I paid $5,700 for an extended warranty. We could go back to the issues with that. Mercedes trying to wiggle their way out of actually having to pay for it, even with you buying a warranty, and still got hit with more issues. So I mean, I get it. These things shouldn't be breaking down for the price that you're paying, but another comment, if you cry about maintenance, it's time to get a Toyota or something. Lease luxury cars, do not own them. That's the only advice that makes the most sense. I mean, I get it if, again, you're ultra wealthy and you could go in and out of these leases every few years and drive around in a new S-Class or a GLS or whatever, most likely you wouldn't have to deal with too much maintenance along with repair costs. But again, you're just renting the car every few years, so it's going to still cost a massive amount of money. Honda, Toyota, Lexus, never BMW or Mercedes, traded in, lesson learned. I mean, we have another similar situation here with an Audi.
My Audi failed me. She broke down on the side of the road the other day, and it's really, really sad because that was my dream car. Unfortunately, this Audi gave me so much trouble, even for being a new car, and I think I'm just traumatized. I'm like, take it back. I need something different. I want something that's going to be reliable, but I also don't want like a basic ass car. I loved the Audi. I loved how I felt driving it. And so yeah, if you have a mid to full size SUV that you love and that you feel like has been reliable for you, please let me know what it is because we are going car shopping this weekend.
The marketing for these vehicles is absolutely top tier. She is so consumed by the thought of how other people perceive her when she's driving around in her Audi and how it makes her feel that she doesn't realize that this is exactly how they get you. Driving around in a new Grand Wagoneer or an Escalade or the Audi Q7, the GLS, the X7, all of these 6-figure SUVs now all end up having tons of problems. They're manufactured terribly, but people are still buying it because they want the external validation. I mean, she basically just admitted it in that clip. Doesn't want any basic cars. Just amazing. Another comment from you guys, people laugh at older cars, but they still have a key and are still running without all the BS electronics.
So Dara, you're saying you'd buy this if we did $40,000 off? Maybe we can talk about it. Why do you want $40,000 off? I just showed you the Dolby Atmos on it. Look at the sleek design on this. It's beautiful. You just lease it. That's all you got to do. I can probably get you pretty close to that. But let's talk if you're interested.
So if you don't know what that is, that's the brand new EV version of a G-Wagon. It's also a horrible flop. Nobody wants them. They're incredibly expensive, barely any range, even when you're talking about a customer base who is very wealthy. These G-Wagons are what, $200,000 each? When you're purchasing vehicles at that point, most likely money isn't that much of an issue anymore. But still, nobody wants them. So right off the bat, the salesman is considering $40,000 off just to try to get that vehicle off the lot. What does that tell you about the margins with these cars? It must be insane if you could chop off, what, 20-25% of the MSRP like that? I do think it's funny though, when you look at the comment section, people are not falling for it. I'll pick one up used for $80,000 in a year. Nobody's buying the electric G-Wagons. Even Mercedes admitted they're a failure. Not a failure, just a lack of underperformance in sales, but not customer satisfaction. Well, I'm pretty sure manufacturers' jobs is to sell the vehicle, so if they're not selling, then I would think it's a failure. But we'll keep going with the dealerships, the advertisements, how they'll try to get more customers, and all the different tactics that go in it. I mean, I had an example right here that popped up on my For You page that is a Hyundai ad.
Did you know Hyundai has a veteran employment transition program?
Yeah, it's my job.
I partner with Hyundai to help showcase how they support veterans right here in Savannah, Georgia. Behind me, you can see the stamping process occurring. This place is cleaner than my house.
So we're just going to cut off there. It's another TikToker with a sponsorship from Hyundai. But again, the comment sections, we're not having it. Hyundai sucks. They don't supply parts or engine for known vehicles that blow rods through the engine blocks. Their motors have issues and they won't resolve them for me. Do not buy one. If only they had a car that worked. Hyundai, the cars that break down immediately after 60,000 mile powertrain warranty. Huh. Very weird coincidence on how that happens, but we'll transition right into a Hyundai dealership clip.
What's this?
So basically there was only one right answer on all of those clips, and you could just see overall that the dealerships and the salesmen do not care about you. They want you to trade in the car, roll that negative equity into an Ioniq, which would just put you into even more negative equity, but would give them a nice commission check at the end of the day, and that's all they really care about. And you could roll this into any one of the manufacturer dealerships. Another one of the trends that I see pretty often, especially when it's a non-luxury brand.
So check this out. If I was covering this emblem, what would you call this vehicle here? What would you say it is? Seems pretty obvious, right? It would be a BMW. But is it? It's not.
I knew it was a Volkswagen, recognized that horrible infotainment system instantly. Not even close to a BMW. 50,000 miles and the check engine light comes on. Nobody would have thought that was a BMW. I mean, it's just another way to try to persuade people into the Volkswagen brand, making it look like it's some sort of luxury car. But the other point that I thought was made is that almost everything looks the exact same. It seems like every new car has the same diamond stitched leather interior and the same looking infotainment screens. They are all similar now. And people are finding more and more issues when it comes to this new tech.
There's 3 automotive trends that need to go away, and this Volvo EX30 has all of them. The first one's right here. There are 4 windows like a traditional car in this EX30, but there's only 2 window switches. So to toggle between the front and the rear, I have to first hit the rear switch, and then I can lower the rear windows. The second, there's no gauges in front of me, so everything is handled by a single screen. Your parking settings, your speedometer, even your turn signals pop up on the center screen. And that just takes away your attention from the road to be looking at this screen. And number 3 is this fixed glass roof. This is beautiful, lets in a lot of light, but there's no shutters or shade in here. And to add insult to injury, Volvo will sell you a $200 covering that matches the interior that you can install in here and stow away when you don't need it. I know I said 3, but here's a bonus one. Lack of physical controls everywhere. In this one, there's no volume dial, and there's even no buttons for your glove box. Open that up, I have to go here and hit this button, And there you go.
So imagine the first clip with the shortage and the smoking coming from the screen on the Kia. If that happened with this Volvo, you'd be screwed. You could barely use it. This car is such a shame for Volvo. They used to be the leader in safety, and then they produced this. Shameful for any manufacturer, but especially Volvo, who cared about safety. We have another comment here. Someone else said it, but it was a huge mistake to try to turn these cars into four-wheeled computers. I think this is a perfect example we could look at real quick.
For any of you guys who've never taken off the seat back of a Wagoneer, here's your front right seat back. Looking like I'm about to do some open heart surgery. I mean, just... yeah.
Imagine the forums in 30 years when all those lines dry rot. The new Lexus GX 550s have a TSB for the pass side front seat massagers not working. So I commonly have to take those seat backs off. It looks like something straight out of Terminator Gore spin-off. Car repair is basically just IT now. Over-engineered plastic garbage is why I'm refusing to buy any car manufactured past 2012. And I know that's the answer for so many people. Get a Honda, get a Toyota that's older, which I do agree with overall, but there will be a certain period of time where that's just not viable anymore. And I mean, buying a modern Honda or a Toyota would be the substitute, but it's really just not the same. We have a clip up on screen of a Honda product that, if you actually go to work on, has a bunch of GM parts. So that's why new Hondas are failing, so it lost its reliability. Thank God they stopped making these Prologues, so that's what it was, a Honda Prologue with other manufacturers' parts, and had a bunch of problems. And another similar clip here, POV, your brand new car breaks down 2 hours into your road trip in the middle of nowhere. And if you take a look, it's one of the brand new Toyota Land Cruisers. This would disappoint me so bad, buying a Toyota and it breaking down. Toyotas have been messy lately. I thought Toyota was supposed to be the most reliable brand. I mean, again, overall they would have less problems than a lot of other manufacturers today, but it definitely doesn't make them bulletproof like they were before.
Hey everyone, we're back again with another super high mile. Look at that. 513,000. That beats my last one of 490. Can you believe it? And check it out. Would you guess? It's a Toyota. It's a Tacoma manual.
And as you could see by the wheel, it is clearly an older model, not a fancy diamond stitch leather wheel, just something that works and made it to a 500,000 miles. That's when Toyotas were built to last. My 2005 Toyota Sequoia with 550,000 miles still in great condition. The new ones will never see it. 2006 Silverado Duramax, 782,000 miles towing a 3-car wedge loaded daily. Again, an older car. 2006 Tacoma, 510,000 miles. There were a lot of comments like that. Very similar, also one from you. My old 1987 Acura Integra finally called it quits at 645,000 miles. Got it at 200,000 miles for $300. So we're going to end this clip with a little bit of de-influencing. We've heard it a couple times before. I got my dream car and it wasn't what I hoped. I think the term dream car has really lost a lot of its value overall. Many people's apparent dream cars are just the new shiny thing that would impress a lot of people, primarily something luxury, and a few years later when the facelift model comes out, that becomes their dream car, and the cycle keeps continuing. But we could take a look at an example from this guy.
I bought my dream car and now I'm getting rid of it. Here she is. It's a Mercedes-AMG GT53. Why are you getting rid of it, Nick? Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, reason number one, it's not as exciting as it once was or as I thought it was going to be. When I first got it, very exciting. Loved driving it. People would tell me how nice it was. That was cool. Never had a car that anyone ever said, that's a nice car. That felt nice. But then it faded away. That feeling of excitement faded away. And it's a good thing. I realized that no thing outside of me will ever make me happy, ever. Now, it makes you wonder, if I am not excited about the car anymore, it's been less than a year, keep in mind, why did I really buy it? Was it because I wanted it so bad and I love the car so much? Or did I just want other people to know that I can buy it?
So I would say for a majority of the cases that we saw, that is the exact reason why it was purchased. External validation is something that so many people crave right now. And unfortunately, people are suffering the consequences because of these poorly built vehicles. And at the end of the day, people are still purchasing. So the companies and manufacturers aren't learning any lessons. They just keep pumping out new models. Nothing's going to change unless people finally stop buying. But from the clips that I see 20 24/7 on social media, it really doesn't look like that's going to be happening anytime soon. So that's all I got for you guys today. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.